Well, here we are again, and things continue to change. I'm glad that you are a part of our Waterbrook family, and we want to share with you how things are going to look in the next month or so. Just when I think things have stabilized, it changes all over again. And one of the problems that we all have is that change is difficult. Many of us don't like change. We don't like things to be different. I want things to be the way I've always known them to be. Well, this has now been months, and we started by saying we just need to get to the end of it, but now as it continues to drag on, I have challenged the staff to be creative and to say, let's take everything off the table and let's start from scratch and make sure we can be effective in the ministry we're doing here at Waterbrook. One of the verses that has encouraged me is in Isaiah chapter 46, where God has just said, I am God, and there is none like me, says the Lord. And then he says this in verse 10, I make known the end from the beginning. From ancient times, what is still to come, I say, my purpose will stand. I will do all that I please. I am reminded and comforted by the fact that God is in control, that pandemics and world situations are not unknown to him, and God still has his plans. I'm glad that we can be a part of that even as they change. I want to explain to you a little bit of some things that are changing. In the month of August, we are going to really focus on a few things. One of those things is connection. We have heard your feedback. We know that it's difficult to be connected. Some of you have said, I won't be back at church in a while. I can't come to a live thing. Maybe I'm vulnerable or at risk. We understand that. But we still think connection is so important to our spiritual lives. So we're going to provide some opportunities. One of those is I want to urge you to be connected personally to at least a few people. One of our elders was telling me just this last week that through the pandemic and through our separation and digital online learning and growth and services, he has continued to meet with two other brothers. And that they have met on a regular basis. And what an encouragement that is. See, we all need that. I want to urge you, get together with your home team, your life group, if you're in one. If you're not, let us know. We'll get you in a life group. If there's any way that you can get together with just even 2 or 3 people that you trust, people you feel comfortable with, so that you can share in accountability, in growth, you can pray for one another. We all need that personal interaction. So I want to encourage you to do it. Please get together with someone else. If you are in a life group already, I urge you to get together. Now, it may be spread out 10 feet apart. It may be in someone's backyard. But to be able to be eye to eye, to see body language, and to interact with one another, and to know we care, even if we're not touching, even if we're not hugging, it means a lot. So please, we need to connect with one another. One of the ways we're going to do that in the month of August is on Saturday nights. We're going to provide worship experiences. It's going to be just some worship music. Pastor Don is putting together some really low-key, informal worship opportunities that will be held in our auditorium on Saturday nights at 6 p.m. About a half hour to come and to worship together. We're going to ask you to wear a mask the whole time you're in the building. That means you can sing in a mask. It's all okay, but we want to be together to worship. So if you can join us, then we want you to do that. We'll also be putting out a set list, a playlist, a worship playlist every week. So if you can't worship with us in person, Pastor Don is crafting a unique song playlist of worship songs for each week in the month of August that we'll be putting out to you as the week begins for you to listen to in your car or at home or while you're having supper or while you're working out, whatever it is, so that you can worship even when we're not together. You can be worshiping all the time in your daily life. These are ways that we want you to worship. We want you to connect. But we also need spiritual growth. So as I challenge the staff to take everything off the table and sort of rebuild the elements that we do, our Sunday morning live stream is going to look a little different. We're going to start at 9:30 still, but we're going to begin with a special little program for kids. Pastor Ween has put together, so it'll be fun, and start with a game that anyone can do on the other side of the screen. It will include a little Bible lesson and a few discussion questions with time in the live stream for you to have a conversation as a family or with whoever you're with about what did we just hear? It's designed to help us and help you grow as a family together. After that short little kids introduction at the beginning, we'll go into the pregame show with Pastor John and myself. We'll have some fun. We'll talk about what's going on in the life of the church, and we want to make you smile and feel connected in that way. Immediately after the pregame show, we'll get into some teaching. And the preacher of that day will share a short sermon. We'll teach a passage from the Bible, as we are so committed to here at Waterbrook. And immediately after that, we'll actually have a discussion. And there will even be an opportunity for online interaction for you to interact with us and to ask some questions where we talk about how do we apply the passage we just heard. So it'll look very different in that Sunday morning live stream. We want you to worship with us. We want you to be growing with us. We want you to connect with other people. We also have some outreach opportunities that we're working on for families to help families who are struggling with going back to school and some of the things that will be happening. We want you to know we're working on new ideas and new opportunities. I am so appreciative of our leadership team and of our church staff who have been incredibly creative, and we've all stretched beyond our comfort zones to find ways that we believe we can best minister with you. You are part of the family here at Waterbrook. We miss being with you face to face, but we will continue to strive to find ways to be safe, to interact, to grow, to worship, and to be connected to one another. We love you, we care, and these changes I'm talking about are specific to the month of August. Come September, we'll see what's happening. I have said from the beginning, our goal is to get back to normal. We don't even know what normal looks like anymore. But we are working because we care about you. And I know you care about your church family. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. And thank you for engaging in the opportunities that we're giving for us all to grow together.